I have something I want to ask you guys. Like, what if the idea you've been putting off, the one that feels impossible, could actually be the thing that changes everything in your business? Like, take a second and actually think about that, because a lot of us have that one thing that we want to do, but for some weird reason, we never ever get to do it because of what we have other people think of us, XYZ. But without further ado, welcome back to the Built for More podcast. I'm your host, Barber Paco. And in this podcast, where I dive deep into stories, mindsets, and strategies behind barbers, creators, and entrepreneurs who are building something bigger than themselves. And today's guest is a living proof of that. He didn't just have an idea. He turned it into he's going to have the number one subscription for barbers, all while working at Amazon as a software engineer. If you ever felt like you don't have the time, the resources, or the connections, in this episode is for you. Like, there's literally no excuses on why you shouldn't be able to do what you want to do. Okay, so I really want to introduce you guys to Ray. Take it away, bro.
Hey, man, thanks for having me. I truly appreciate it. Just the opportunity to be here with you and just hear your story. So thanks for inviting me. Thanks for having me. You started with $7 haircuts, cutting out the house to being here. And I've had the opportunity of having your hospitality and, seeing the place. And I couldn't feel more welcomed. It's a beautiful place, so thank you.
I really appreciate that, just because it is a work in progress, and I feel like we all have, us as creators and us as perfectionists, we often think like, oh crap, it's not ready yet, but thank you. I definitely don't. I definitely want this place. Actual vision like I have in my head. I'm sure you can relate to that, right? But before we continue, I really do appreciate you making that drive. You drove about almost 6 hours?
6 hours, yeah. But I say it's worth it because I'm not a barber, right? So I have to spend a lot of my time getting deep into what it's like being a barber. And there's no better way of doing that than being with barbers. So that's why you often see me in the comments, liking things, posting about barbers, because I really want to know the good things, the bad things. As close to barbers I can be, the better it is for me. So just being here, coming here today, seeing the space, talking with you, learning, it's much better than doing this, over the internet. I need to be in barbershops.
Yeah, because initially we were gonna do it over a Zoom call, but then you had the idea of like, I'm like, dude, I'm all for it. If you're down to drive, dude, I'm down, bro. Like, I'm all for doing the extra step to make something great. Like, But what is something about you that most people wouldn't guess just by looking at your Instagram?
That's a good one.
Yeah, I'm gonna challenge you today, bro. I'm gonna challenge you today. I'm gonna challenge you today, bro.
I'm gonna need a second.
That's all good, bro. Take your time.
Yeah, that's a good one. What's up? Most people wouldn't guess just by looking at my Instagram. That's a good one. I would say I'm a very abstract thinker. I'm a very deep thinker. Which I think is very interesting. I guess you can kind of tell that from what I'm building, but I always question the why and everything. I think everything in life that you go through was set up by someone else who wasn't necessarily as smart as you, right? They may just have been there before you. And that has helped me question everything and really think about, is this the best way to do anything? And I think that's led me to discover a lot of things that people usually don't question and usually don't think about. But I spend a lot of time reading like philosophy books, for example. I'm always just looking for answers and asking as many questions as I can and just being curious. I would say that I'm a huge reader. I'm a huge advocate for reading. I had a book club right out of college, with my friends. So just always wanting to learn, always wanting to educate. Movie nights, I will put on documentaries.
Yeah, sick. That's like, I'm the same way. Like, my girlfriend can't stand it when I'm putting a podcast on it. It's supposed to be movie night, and I'm like, well, do you not see the cover? Like, doesn't that make you want to click? So I'm right there with you, bro. Like, I feel like if I can add to that, a lot of people just see me as a barber. And I feel like you know, you can agree with me. There's much more to us than just cutting hair, you know?
Yeah, for sure. That's what I want the world to see. And that's part of everything is barbers aren't just cutting hair, and that's what I want the world to see. And I feel like I'm fortunate enough to be one of the first people to see this, and it's why, you know, why would you risk working a job at a big tech company to spend nights and weekend helping barbers? But when you truly believe deep down inside that these are the people that drive community, it's a no-brainer for me. And when I look at barbers, and I view barbers as entrepreneurs easily. And from that standpoint, it's when barbers are at the shop Friday night, Saturday nights, coming in on Sundays, Mondays, not being able to spend time with their family, it's easy for me to look at myself and say, why can't I spend these extra hours building an app for these people who've been dedicating basically their entire life to help other people?
And to add to that, I firmly believe that barbers are some of the most hardworking people.
Yep.
And most of them are overworked. Most are overworked. They would rather sit in that hamster wheel and spin that thing and spin, and then instead of asking questions on, okay, how I'm booked up, maybe I should probably do something about that. You know, exactly. So I can definitely attest to that, you know, and add to that, because I've been in that grind when I first started out, doing 17, 25 haircuts a day at $25 a haircut, you know, to now charging high ticket and only doing 4 to 8 a day, you know? And I think that's a sweet spot when it comes to high ticket, you know? But I definitely feel like you literally said something that a lot of people don't say. Barbers are entrepreneurs. Whether they want to see it or not. And I coach barbers for a living too. So, and whenever I remind them, hey, you're an entrepreneur, I want you to, I'm a what? I'm a what? I'm like, yes, you're an entrepreneur. You're literally in that space, whether you like it or not. And what do you think is like one of the things that holds barbers back from accepting that clear statement?
I don't know. I guess from my perspective, I don't know if they just don't accept it, or it's just a shift in mindset that takes time to process. Because as you spoke to, you have to have that shift in mindset as well. But once you make that shift, you're rolling, because you understand that only cutting hair is going to get me so far.
Right.
I have to work on the business just as much as I work in the business, because if I'm only working in the business, I'm not worried about my systems. I'm not worried about my funnels. I'm not worried about how I'm finding clients. I'm just cutting hair. And once you step back and take a look and say, okay, this is the path that my clients go through, you start tracking your finances. Then you say, okay, now I can improve. So I think just like any other entrepreneur or solo entrepreneur, because I feel like that's where it starts in the solo entrepreneur spaces. Whether you're, you like to make cake, so you start a bakery, or you're an artist and you sell paintings, you have to make that switch from, yes, I love to do this. Yes, I love to do this thing, but if I'm looking to provide for my family, this is a business, and I have to do the business side of it.
Dude, and that's a lot of realities that barbers don't want to look at, because most barbers just want to cut up their friends. I mean, just put that out there. And then that's just, it sucks to say, because like most barbers I see, and I don't see them improving, because all I see is their friends in their chair. And I hate to admit that sometimes your friends aren't going to be the ones to support the change or the price increase or the new mindset that you're trying to do, because charging high ticket, I firmly believe that anybody can do it, but can someone do it in the long run? I think that's what separates the actual entrepreneur barbers from just the ones that just want to cut hair, which is fine. I firmly believe that if they want to stay in that model, by all means, that's on you. But I agree with what you're saying. A lot of barbers don't want to admit that, and it makes barbers mad for some weird reason. I don't know what it is. Like you tell them the truth on why this is happening, and then they're like, no, you're wrong. They deflect, they detach, and they shut down, and then all of a sudden you're the hater. You know what I mean? I say that because I speak to a lot of barbers like on a daily basis, and most, you know, have the weirdest thing to say, like just the weirdest things. Like I think the weirdest thing I ever gotten was well, prove it to me that if you're making $100 a haircut. I'm like, well, you can check my booking app. Like you can check, it's right there, bro. Like, you know, but let's rewind a little bit. Like before the app, before all the buzz, where did the idea?
Can I
Yeah.
before we go?
Let's go.
I think it's a mindset thing, and I think a lot of barbers don't come from upbringing of abundance. And I think when you don't come from seeing a lot, then it's very difficult to believe in a lot, especially nowadays when there's so much facade going on social media. It's very difficult to tell the true, you know, I'm actually doing this versus the people who are faking it. So I feel like you do really have to see it. And for me, I'm from Athens, Georgia, and Clark County, which is the poorest county in Georgia. So my mindset of what wealthy was is different, is totally different than what happened when I moved to Orange County and I'm visiting Newport Beach, and it's like, oh, this is different, because you go from people that want to go from like looking rich to being rich,
actually being rich.
And when you see that difference between the two styles of people, you say, okay, this person that's very wealthy, they really don't even want people to know that they have a lot of money.
No, bro.
Versus this person who wants to show everyone I have all of this. And then for me, that really shifted my mindset and how I thought about things. Of, do I want to look this way, or do I want to, you know, put in the work to get to this place?
Bro.
And so I think like just a lot of barbers they've never seen that, right?
So good.
And when you never seen that, I guess I'm very accepting of people, of who they are, and understanding like, this is, you know, I'm going to meet you where you are, and then we can work on from that. But if you've never seen anyone do things of abundance in a legal manner, and really scale their business and get to a point where, you know, they're an entrepreneur, and like yourself, you have a podcast, you have a coaching business, you're a barber, but when you've never seen anybody do that, it's hard to believe that.
It's hard to believe. No,
possible.
dude. It's because it's like I feel like we both come from similar backgrounds. Like I'm from Dos Palace, California, and that's a very like work until you can't no more town, you know, like, so it's so hard for like even myself to even realize, oh crap, I made good money today, but I only worked 4 hours. What the fuck? I definitely feel like, to add to the whole abundance thing, a lot of people think that they have to work hard to attain that goal, when sometimes that's not the case. I mean, would you agree with that? I
mean, I don't know if I'd say work hard. I think like physically working hard, I guess it's hard to say it, but it's hard work. You can like it's hard work. But the hard work looks different. The hard looks different, and like this is something that I realized myself is like, I grew up playing sports, so hard for me was hamstrings burning, you know, sweating, like out there on the field. But then when you shift to the business side, your hard is uncertainty. Your hard is being disciplined. Your hard is doing the things that you don't like to do, like you love to do.
I'm so glad you actually like said that, because it opened up another thing in my head where it's like, yes, you're working hard to a lot of people is different. Like my working hard is trying to get 6 videos done by the end of this, you know? So I'm so glad you actually added to that, because it made me think like, oh crap, like you're right. A lot of people actually have a whole perspective of working hard to the people that are working from abundance, you know, because I've came from working like not being from abundance, I guess you can say, like, and that was my normal, you know. You know, that was my normal, you know. So when I tell people like I used to do this and this and this, they're like, that's not what you did. I'm like, yes, I used to do agriculture work, I used to go, you know, work in the fields, I used to do truck driving, I used to do all that. And they're like, there's no way. I'm like, yes, I did all that. I did all that hard work to now that I'm here and talking to you on this podcast. I definitely feel like my working hard now is mental now.
That's exactly what it is. It becomes mental, and now you're figuring out it's a different game. Now you're figuring out, how can I optimize this? How can I change this? How can I do this one thing better without breaking this other thing? Or maybe I do need to break this one thing to do this other thing.
Yeah. And sometimes like that's growing pains.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
like it's growing pains. Like a lot of people don't realize. Especially like like in the community, like whenever I went up on price, like that was a massive growing pain for me, because I'm a barber that was so used to seeing 27 heads on my schedule, to when I went to when I made my first price increase to high ticket, it went from 27 to like 3.
Yeah.
So that's a whole thing too. Yeah. Like you know, you have to be resilient, you know. And I feel like I feel like no matter how many times you fall on, like you fail, it's how quickly you get back up from that. Yes. You know what I mean? You know, so I definitely agree with you, bro. Like a lot of people don't operate from abundance; they operate from scarcity. And like when I made that switch to the high ticket mindset, there is a lot of people that are willing to pay this price. There is a lot of people that are willing to drive for me. There is a lot of people that are out there that actually are watching me and rooting for me, opposed to people that know me that aren't really like supporting me. You know, it's weird how that works, right? You know,
you make that switch, and like my saying that I tell myself is be delusional, because a lot of times you have this idea of like, I can do this thing, but it's like, that's kind of crazy, right? I can do this thing, but can I really? Be delusional. That's my message, is be delusional, because if you truly believe in something and you work hard at it and you're consistent, you can achieve it. And if you don't, you're going to learn along the way. And oftentimes, which you probably realize, is the business, like, yes, you work on the business, but the business works on you. You become a better person.
Yeah, man. Like I could be attest to that, because owning a barbershop definitely broke me, bro. Like it definitely, and it's still pruning me into the person that I said I wanted to become. Nobody told me to open up a shop. Nobody told me to do that. You know what I mean? And I feel like you can attest to that. Like the people that are in that mix, nobody told you to put yourself, that you could have been comfortable if you wanted to, but that's not what you want.
Exactly.
You want the actual grind. You want to be fulfilled, and fulfillment comes before fulfillment comes pain. You know, let's just put that out there. You know, so when you said be delusional, the first person that popped in my head was Kanye West. That's the first person that popped in my head. I mean, I'm not talking about Kanye West now. I'm talking about Kanye West, the graduation Kanye West.
When you believe in anything and you have confidence in yourself, and people talk about confidence, like, what is confidence? Confidence is undeniable proof that you can do something, and you only get that confidence from doing it. And to do it a lot of times means that you have to start, you have to begin. So once you start, you're gonna fail. And I say this all the time, and I tell myself this, is like, you're gonna suck, and it's okay to suck. Anytime you do something in the beginning, you're gonna suck, and that's okay, because when you're trying to achieve this thing, to everyone else that's looking, you're gonna be like weird. It's what is he doing? But for the people that have already done the thing, they're gonna look and be like, yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
I feel like it's cringe until it works.
Exactly.
I feel like it's cringe to some people, then it starts to work, and it's like, okay, well, he got lucky. Well, no, I actually been doing this for 5+ years. You just were in the sidelines hating on me,
exactly,
wishing I wasn't doing this. But now that I'm here, like, I can show you how to do it, but are you gonna ask me? Probably not.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I definitely feel like that's a very big thing in the barber industry, is that people are first to criticize before they even get to like, okay, maybe he's onto something, let me ask.
Yep.
And I applaud people that ask questions.
Yeah.
Because people that ask questions, I feel like, are going to be successful a lot quicker. It's literally that's literally what separate that's that stepping stone between that gap of who you want to become, is you asking questions, and then how quickly can you apply what you learn from asking those questions, right? You know, so I really love that whole aspect of like working on abundance. But like, moving on to the next point, so you have an app, right? Or you're working on an app right now, right?
Yeah.
So let's rewind a little bit, like before the ad, before the buzz. Where did the idea come from? Like, what made you want to work on StylePass, correct?
Yeah, StylePass. So
I love the name, by the way.
Thank you. So that's a multi-layered question. So
Sick.
I've always wanted to build something. I've always wanted to build an app, right? I'm a software developer. I'm a software engineer. I've always wanted to build something.
Right.
So it's like, okay, I have something that I want to build, but I don't have an idea. And so then I was going to my barber, and I was like, it got to the point where I was like, so in college I was wearing like a lot of athletic. I wasn't really dressing up. I played sports, and then after college I was like, okay, I'm gonna start putting on real clothes and like dressing up. Comes that I have to start getting my hair cut, right? I need to get my hair cut more often.
Yeah, bro.
I need to get my hair cut more often. So I'm going to my barber. I was going like twice a month. I started going every 10 days, and then I started going every week because I'm like, I didn't like, because once you start getting your haircut more, you don't like when it's not cut. And so I was like, I started going more and more, and then I was like, can I just pay you monthly? Like, it would, one, it would be simpler for me. Two, is there some way that I can like set up, I could block the slots always at this time, because I would hate when I would want to go book my barber and then
He's like, on book, my bad.
he's booked, like the weekends are booked, and now I gotta like book on Tuesdays, and I'm taking like my lunch break to rush over there or whatever. So I was like, can we do this? And he was like, I would love to, but I don't have the ability to. And then that's why I was like, I can build this. But the thing that really pushed me, because I had some other ideas that I was working on, like one idea, if anybody wants to build this, please build this. I would happily invest in you, and I would use it. But in the same time span, I needed to buy more clothes, right? And because I'm short, I'd have to get everything tailored. And it was very inconvenient for me to buy clothes online. They would come, and then I would have to take it to the tailor, and then obviously go pick it up from the tailor, come back home, etc. So my idea was, can there just be an app where people can shop through the app? It would ship to the tailor. The tailor would tailor it and then ship it to me. Or like, the person would go to the tailor, pick up all their stuff and ship it out. So that was my original idea. I was like, yeah, it's going to be like, because my last name is McCall, it'll be like Call Taylor. I was talking to people, and I was like, I was really going to build this thing out, because that was a major pain point for me. Was I hated needing to go, I have to tailor everything, shirt, pants, you know what I mean? Like everything. So I would always need to go to the tailor. And then the barber idea came up, and then
that's a whole like funnel, like it just like going and going. That's so cool. That's so cool. So from there, you essentially were like thinking subscription based for everything. Like I, like for you, you're a busy guy because you're on call, right? So I'm assuming you're on call for from being software engineer. So you started thinking, how can I make my life more easier? And then from there, you started trickling down that effect, and then boom, StylePass.
So I mean, when I got to Barbers, it was okay. I want to subscribe to my barber. How can I make that possible? And then you start doing research, and you start peeling the layers back. Then you start seeing how other apps in the space maneuver, and then it's like, okay, something's a little off here. How can I help? So I was reaching out to barbers, like DMing barbers, like super excited about the idea, and then just the thought of helping the community, right? So I feel like barbers are oftentimes overlooked by everyone, and so the ability to go into the community and help barbers, to me, is what I'm passionate about. Because now I can help everyone. There isn't any greater seed to plant than being able to help barbers. You help barbers who then pass that information on to their clients, who then talk to their friends. That music is the only thing I can think of that can spread like that, right? I can't make music. But when it comes to helping barbers who, like we discussed, entrepreneurs, you switch that mindset in barbers, you switch that mindset in the community. And I think more people, and this is long term, right? I think more people will view themselves as, I have an opportunity to do something that can change the lineage of my family.
That's so cool.
And for me, that starts with barbers.
That's so cool, bro, because I definitely feel like that. I mean, me being a barber, I've always wondered that, like, why doesn't like these booking apps offer subscription based, like packages or something like that, right? So that's pretty cool, that you're already thinking 5-10 years into the future. I firmly believe that's going to be a thing, bro.
Yeah.
And to have you on the podcast before that happens is a blessing, bro, because we're going to look back on this and we're like, dude, like we were on it, like you were on to something, you know. That's so cool. So like building an app is huge, like in itself. Like how do you balance that with like everything going on in your life, being a software engineer, and you're married too, so like having a relationship, and then you have a dog too, so like how are you doing, like finding the rhythm? I say rhythm because I feel like a balance is too obscured, like it's too small, because like I feel like with balance you have to balance, sacrifice something. With rhythm you don't, because one week the rhythm might be, oh, my dog's pain in my ass this week, or work's a pain in my ass this week, or something like that. That's the rhythm. So how do you find the rhythm, and how do you stay on rhythm?
I would say there isn't any rhythm. For me, it's what I'm passionate about, and it's what I want to do. So it's my highest priority right now. They're like,
that's so cool.
My wife and my dog, my family, those.
But you're doing it for them. Like I feel like at some point you realize that you're building this for them, exactly, for your future, for your future family, XYZ, right?
So yeah, I would say for me there isn't a balance. It's, I have to sacrifice all of these things in life. Like late nights, there are nights I'm pulling all-nighters. I gotta go to work in the morning. It is what it is, but the work has to get done. So that's how I view it.
Okay. So like back to StylePass, like I'm just curious, how does StylePass differ from other booking apps, and like how would you implement like similar like services that other apps do, or is it just going to be just subscription based?
Yeah, that's a good question. So we're gonna roll out with the beta, and I want barbers to let me know what you all want. I think the biggest advantage that I have as a small company is I can listen and I can react quickly.
That's
to
huge
what
too, bro.
what you all want. It's not oftentimes you can speak to a founder of an app that you use often and say, hey, this little feature right here, it would be better if it did this, or hey, what do you think about adding this? And so it's very important for me to listen. And for me, I signal that in showing up to the podcast, being here, and just signaling the barbers that reach out to me. I'm always happy to listen. I'm all ears there. I'm not at a big long oval table with meetings with 20 other people. If you need something, let me know. I'll implement it, or we'll discuss it, and we'll see how it goes.
So like, what is like the biggest feedback you've gotten already from barbers? Because you said you're already working with a few already. So like, what is like one of the feedbacks you've already gotten from? Yeah,
so I haven't rolled out to any barbers yet. So there aren't any barbers. There aren't any barbers that have gotten a chance to use it. But a barber literally called me yesterday and was like, "Can you have this done in a week?" He was like, "I need it." And I was like,
he putting that pressure on you.
Yeah. I was like, I'm sorry. Like it's gonna take some time, right? But there's definitely a need. There's definitely a need in the market.
That's a huge need, because I feel like you're seeing a gap in the industry, and you're not even like so to say, like you're not in the industry because you don't cut hair. But for someone like yourself that's like seeing that gap and like filling it is gonna be freaking huge, dude. Like I have my gripes with certain apps already as it is. Like that's why I left Booksy, because Booksy just had way too many features. It just overwhelmed me. And then sometimes their service will go down for like weeks at a time. The customer service, I mean, I get better. Like that's all I can say. I had to sacrifice all my reviews onto from Booksy to leave to Squire. I think that would be a good feedback for you, is to make sure the reviews stay intact. From leaving a booking app to StylePass. You know?
That's my big. If you're a barber, please set up a Google business account, because that's going to be the most third-party place that you can put all of your reviews. And you, no matter where you go, there can be reviews in app or not reviews in app. Just, you can tell anybody, hey, go to Google. Google isn't going anywhere. I think it's very important to understand whether you choose StylePass or you choose any other app. It's up to you, but really understand the business model of the platform that you're using. And the reason that I say that is how companies set up, how they make money is going to structure how you make money, and the features that they put in place for you. So one example is, oftentimes when clients cheat on their barber, it's because their barber is booked. So my birthday's Sunday, it's Friday, and I'm like, dang, I need to get a haircut for my birthday. I'm going out. And I go to book my barber, and he's booked up. So
Right.
now I have to go to someone. Like, I literally don't have a choice. I have to go to someone. I mean,
Yeah.
I can ask him to squeeze me in, but if he can't, I have to go to another barber. So other platforms make money when a client goes to a new barber, and you, as the other barber, thinks this platform got me a client. So now you're in a situation where barber A is either going to lose a client, or barber B just has this temporary client, and they take a percentage of that.
Oh, temporary client.
So either you lose a client or you get a client that's not going to be there to stay
Right,
forever, and
right.
they take 30%. So it's in their best interest for your clients to never be loyal. They would make the most money if every time a client gets a haircut, they go to a different barber.
Right.
And with the barber, with you know, the barber landscape being competitive, is that where you want to put your business, with a platform who makes more money when your clients aren't loyal?
That's 100% sure. So that here comes StylePass, where if there's a subscription based, you have an appointment no matter what.
Yep, you'll have an appointment. Your clients will be subscribed to you, and on top of that, the pricing is, we get paid when a client subscribes to you.
That's awesome.
We get paid. So now we share customers.
That's cool. So it's like the best of both worlds, where if I get paid, you get paid.
Exactly.
Right.
So
And
I'm incentivized to have clients be loyal to you.
That's awesome.
That's how I make money.
That's awesome.
So everything I do will be to ensure that your customers do not go to another barber and they subscribe to you.
Okay. That's dope, dude. Like, I guess my next question is like, when it comes to subscription, like packages and stuff like that, how would you go about like offering that? Like, how would you say I'm offering this and this and this? Like, how would you categorize that?
Yeah, I think that's a good question. So there are two aspects of it. There's the barber side of things, where you talk to your clients and say, hey, I'm moving to this business model. If you like to subscribe, here are my packages. And barbers will have the ability to set up the packages however they want to.
Yeah.
You'll have the freedom to do it however you want to. And then on my side, because obviously I want your clients to subscribe as well, that's where I nurture them and say, hey, I see that you're getting... I look at the barber's packages and say, hey, I see that you're getting a haircut every 2 weeks. Would you like to sign up for the 2-cut package, so then you can get a discount? Or you're getting haircuts every two.
That's cool. So you offer incentives to subscribe to a package.
Exactly.
And that's a double whammy, because the client gets a haircut, they get an incentive. On top of that, the barber gets the recurring revenue from the client. That's genius, dude. That's genius. That's genius. Because I thought about that. I'm like, how can I offer a package? Because these apps don't offer that. Yeah. Like Safari doesn't offer that. Books. Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen it. If someone out there can show me where that is, I have not seen that. So you guys heard it here first on the Built for More podcast. StylePass is going to be the thing of the future, but I really want to like flip it back onto you real quick. Like, what's the biggest fear you have? What is the biggest fear that you still have about the journey? And what's the question that keeps you up at night when it comes to like building this out and just on everything?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
What's the biggest fear that I have about this journey?
Because I feel like that's always in the back of your mind, but you ignore. I mean, at least for me, like you ignore it because you're like, nah, fuck that. Like, this is gonna work. Yeah. Regardless of what I feel, and if how you said earlier, like if it fails, I learn, get back up, do something different.
I will say there is a fear of failure. There's a fear of failure, but the way that I like to look at it is once I start, or once you start anything, there's always going to be the fear of failure. Fear is the biggest motivator of any human.
Yeah.
What I've learned to do is change that into, instead of being a fear of failure to not do something, being a fear of failure that allows me to go all in.
All in.
So I know that, one, if I do fail, I gave it all I got. There's nothing that I could have done, because I feel like what's worse is regret, bro. Exactly.
Like I'm gonna use this way in the best way I can relate to it. Like, there's been multiple times where I've gone home and I didn't record content. Like, I should have recorded content. Yeah. Now I have nothing to edit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That feeling is way worse than me actually taking my phone out and actually doing the fucking thing. You know. So I firmly believe that if you're going to do something, do it as quickly as possible because coffee gets cold, bro.
Yeah.
Coffee gets fucking cold, and it don't taste the same when you rewarm that shit.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, as corny as that sounds, I heard that analogy from one of my mentors, and it made so much sense to me. I forget about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's so much content in my phone that hasn't made
so much content. Yeah.
I'm sure you can you relate to that? Like, I'm sure that there's been a bunch of times where you actually recorded something and then you just say, this is not it.
Yeah, that's happened multiple times. There's videos you let sit, and once you let them sit there,
you forget.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I have a whole hard drive at home full of like just camera footage that I have, blog footage that I've never released.
Yeah.
Because I just forget that it's there. Like, oh, fuck, I need to edit this. And I think that's my biggest issue.
Yeah.
Is finding the time to actually edit now.
Yeah.
You know, but as long as I guess, like, for me, as long as you can actually do it, like whatever you're scared of, just do it, because at the end of the day, you're gonna be shitty at it no matter what you do.
Yeah.
In the beginning, at least. In the beginning, because if you can't get better at it, then that kind of, you know, like, it kind of says something about this point, you know. But when you love something so much, so much, like, you know that you're meant for that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm sure you can attest that with style, with what you're doing. With,
yeah,
you know.
exactly. I mean, you have to be passionate about it, right? I have a wife. You know, we have our apartment. We have a dog. So I'm risking our livelihood, right? I'm nights and weekends risking, you know, making friends. You know, not, you know, spending time with family.
Right.
So there's a lot of risk. I mean, worst case scenario is I leave my job, StylePass fails, I got to move back in with my parents, and that's the risk that I'm taking. But it's easy for me to digest that when I know my why and know why I'm doing this.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer. Yeah, that's another thing too. I feel like a lot of entrepreneurs, and not just barbers, don't know their why and why they're doing something. I feel like once you realize and it's crystal clear why you want something, people will want to support you, because at the end of the day, I feel like people don't buy into what you do. It's how you do it.
Yeah.
You know, or why you do it, right?
Exactly. And
you know,
you can want nice things. Like, there's nothing wrong with wanting nice things,
right?
But if your why is only monetary, then as you get money, you're gonna realize, like, this isn't what
this
it's
isn't.
all,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. Like, I've read a few books on, like, wealth and stuff like that, and some of the richest people will always tell you, like, nothing will ever feel better than being with the people you love.
Yeah.
You know, and being able to provide that one thing that they ever always wanted, being able to swipe that card without second guessing it, right?
Yeah.
You know, because at the end of the day, like, you have it all. What is left to get?
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
and so for me, it's how big of an impact can I leave on the world, and that's why it's easy. Like, it's no brainer for me to work with barbers, because I can make an impact, right? Like, like, right now I work at Amazon, and my app is used, or not my app, but the software that I write is used by millions of people internationally. But the thought that anyone can use an app that I built to book a haircut routinely,
it's a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer.
It's a fucking no-brainer. Yeah, that's awesome, bro. That's awesome. So, like, where do you see StylePass going over the next, like, 3 to 5 years? Like, do you have plans to expand beyond barbering, or just stay, or into other industries, or do you plan just to stay into, like, just the barbering niche?
Yeah, I'm just focused on barbers.
Yeah,
I'm focused on barbers.
Awesome. That's awesome. Because
I want to know every detail. I kid with my wife all the time. I'm like, I should just pick up the clippers.
I'm surprised you're having it, bro. I'm surprised you're having it. I feel like there's a difference between actually watching someone do something, and then once you do it, it's like, oh, okay, I have a firm understanding, because, like, I have a bunch of friends that do software engineering, and I've used to sit around with them, and, like, I would look at what they're doing, and I'm like, crap, dude, like, that's a lot.
Yeah,
it's a lot of numbers. It's a lot, but it's fairly interesting, right? And I'm sure that's how you see barbering. Like, it's fairly interesting, right? How especially how barbers think, bro. I feel like there's a huge problem in the barber industry, and it's not even like what barbers aren't doing. It's obscurity. Like, I feel like a lot of barbers, like, don't want to do the work.
Yeah,
they just want to blame somebody if it isn't working, right? Or they're so objective to like, oh well, I'm at this shop, so I have to be busy. Where when nowadays we have social media, so you can't use that excuse anymore.
Yeah.
So like, how crucial is it for entrepreneurs and not just barbering for them to make content?
I would say it's very important. I think in today's day and world, or today's day and age, you have to make content. And it's one of the most difficult things to do. And a lot of people, including myself, you're like, I just want to do this thing. I don't want to make content. But you soon realize that making content is what allows you to do the thing and to do it better and to do it for more people, and scale and grow. And so it's one of those things. It's like working out. Like, people think that people that are fit, they like going to the gym. Like, no, it's just you realize that at some point, if I don't go to the gym, I'm not gonna, look the way that I want to look. Right. So I have to go to the gym. And over time, you meet people at the gym.
Right.
You get in the habit of going to the gym. And for me, it's been the same way with content, where I didn't post before I started working on StylePass. I probably would post like once a year. If that, I would never post. I was never really interested in, making content, or like, it just never crossed my mind. And then oftentimes in business, it's the things that you don't want to do are the things that are going to push the business and make a difference. So it's either don't do this, and then that's going to be the reason I fail, or figure out how to love it.
Yeah, no, I firmly believe that, bro, because that's a question I ask myself every single day. Like, what am I not doing that I can do right now that can push me 6 months forward? And I say 6 months because I feel like that's how I move. Is I think 6 months ahead, or at least 6 months ahead, right? So when it comes to content, like, it's a non-negotiable for me. Yeah. Like, I want when I'm here at my shop, I have to record at least one piece, at least. And the reason why I say one piece content for me, because I've been doing content for about 5 years now, 5 years now. And I feel like one thing that I've learned about making content is things always change. And if you follow trends, you're going to fall very, very quickly. Yeah. Like, it's important for you to like stay authentic. One, be authentic. Two, find something that's very that the general public likes to watch.
Yeah.
If you don't like showing your face, then you're gonna have a hard time getting ahead.
That's your brand. Your face.
That's your and that leads me to my next thing. Barbers are brands.
Yeah.
Whether you want to look at it or not, you are a brand, and the quicker you realize it, the quicker you can move the boat quicker.
Yep.
And I say that because a lot of barbers are just like, well, I'm part of this shop, so I'm part of this. No. If you're paying rent, you are your own brand.
Yep.
You are a sub brand from whatever shop you're working at.
Yep.
Sometimes the shop that the barbers are in hold them back. I mean, would you say?
I can't speak to that. Yeah.
I mean, like, the reason why I say that is because I've been in multiple shops, and I see it all the time, bro. Like, I've been made fun of because I was making content. Mm-hmm. Like, I literally got clowned for making content.
Yeah.
It's so like, and it's one of those things where that's why barbers don't want to do the content, because they get made fun of. Like, oh, bro, we're busy. You better stop doing that social media shit.
Yeah.
What not? You're an influencer now, and then the barber ends up like falling short. And because I hate to say it, bro, most barbers that work amongst other barbers are working on low vibration.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they don't want more. They're okay with what they have. But that one barber wants more, but they're scared of what those barbers are going to think.
Yeah.
So I guess, well, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. I was just going to say one advice that I would give, and this is something that I did, and then I heard you say it on one of your podcasts as well, is if you're just starting to make content, like myself, where I started, I don't know, like 2-3 months ago, and then you compare it to someone like yourself who's been making content for 5 years, it can be very daunting to see the delta between the two. It's like, damn, how am I gonna get here if I'm only here? So one thing, scroll all the way down, scroll to the beginning and see the process and the steps that it took for that person to get where they are today. And oftentimes you'll realize, yes, this is who they are today, but they sucked.
They fucking suck.
This is bad.
So to add to that, you're gonna scroll all the way down and you're gonna look for the first spike.
Yeah.
That is it.
Yeah.
That first spike is literally their building block from where they were to where they are today.
I would say watch a few before that, because I like to
Okay.
see. I want to see Steph Curry when he couldn't shoot threes.
That's cool. I didn't.
But you know, when his dad had him, you know, right under the basket, putting shots up, because then now you can view yourself as that person, right?
It's relatable, right?
Yeah, they're relatable. It's like
Right.
my content sucks, their content sucks, and then you get to the spike.
And then the pressure kind of
exactly.
You know, the pressure really starts to like deplete a little bit. You know,
yeah.
So like you say you want to help barbers. Like I'm a barber, so is there any like specific questions like you have for me that I can answer for you?
Oh yeah, I love this. I have a few questions. The first
put me in the hot seat, bro.
The first is what triggered you to make the switch to understand what I'm doing isn't working and there is more out there?
So can you repeat the question one more time?
So when did you go from, you know, just cutting hair, not really thinking about the business and just, you know, just doing your thing, to realizing like, okay, one, I can do something bigger, and two, if I continue down this path, I'm never going to get to the person that I want to be?
That literally takes me back to when I was cutting hair at my boys barbershop. I remember I was booked out and I wasn't happy anymore, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was making money. I was charging $15 at the time.
Yeah.
And I was making money, but I was booked out. But I was like, there has to be more to this. Like in the beginning, it was cool. Like I was like, this is great. Like I love this. I'm grinding. I love this. Right. But then I hit a wall, bro. I was like, yeah, this is like, I can't be in this town anymore. I feel like a shark in a small pond. Like there has to be more for me. So when I made that switch, I was like, okay, I know if I make the switch, I'm going to fall on my face. Yeah. It's going to hurt, but how quickly can I get back up from being hurt? And I've been hurt plenty of times to understand that. Yeah. So physically and mentally. So when I realized I wanted more, I shot for the stars, bro. Because even then, if I missed, I was still up there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So, and I remember when I made that switch, it really tested me, because I really didn't know what was going to happen when I lost all my clientele. Because I went from a town to a city, and I literally had a fire over 100 clients, you know, and I had to literally swallow that pill. Like, look, Pac, if you go here, this is going to happen. But if you know this, if you know going into this, then you're going to be fine. I feel like a lot of barbers make choices and they don't look in the hindsights, right?
Yeah.
They don't look at what's gonna happen. They make decisions based off how they feel. Like, oh crap, I'm not making the money here, so I'm gonna go somewhere else.
Yeah.
And then they realize that the grass wasn't green on the other side. You know what I mean? So when I realized that, it was like the third year of my barbering career. I was like, okay, I literally know I know I want to charge more, and here is not gonna be it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and on top of that, I knew if I would have stayed there, I would have been trapped. I wouldn't been able to get out, bro.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Like you had to.
Yeah, I had to, bro. I had to make something, because at the time I really liked watching like a young Big Blends and Chuka the Barber, and these guys were like charging 40 in 2016. And that's a lot of money back then. 26 and 20, that was a lot of money. So in my head, I'm like, fuck, how can I do that? Yeah. So I knew I've always wanted to be a high ticket barber, like from the jump. I just didn't know when it was going to happen. And I feel like the universe doesn't give it to you right away. And when I say universe, I mean like God. And like, he doesn't give it to you right away. He kind of like, okay, you want this? How bad do you want it? You say you want to do this? Okay, cool. This is going to happen, but I need you to hold the line.
Yeah.
Hold that fucking line. Because if you don't hold the line, you're going to go right back there. And to go back and then to go back and then to go back up again is extremely hard, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what attested to like my mindset shift.
Got it. Yeah. And is that something that you bring to your students as well?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Like, so when I started coaching, I knew I wanted to make a difference with barbers that are underpaid. And I knew that if I were to put myself in their shoes, I know how to make them relate to, look, if this could happen for me, why wouldn't it happen for you? But just know it's gonna fucking hurt.
Yeah.
It's like working out, right? It's like working out. Like, you can't expect to get ripped to shit without putting the fucking, it's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fucking hurt. Like earlier you said, like full circle, earlier you said that hard work for you was sweating, your thighs burning.
Yeah.
That's literally it. But you work hard so that way you can work smarter later.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, so that really like attested to me to want to coach barbers. And I'm a very giving person by nature. Like, I love to give because I know what it's like not to have shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I come from a very like poor background. So I told myself, the day I'm able to give, I'm going to give in abundance.
Yeah.
You know,
That's nice. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
I respect that.
so like, I'll even let people in and give people free stuff so that way they can like, look, I'm not just trying to like make $1 off you. I'm literally trying to like change your life. Like, you're literally one piece of content away from just changing everything.
That's crazy to think about.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You're literally one video away from changing your life.
Yeah.
And when that happened, like dude, like when I joined my first mentorship, that's when everything changed because I was able to adapt with high level thinkers.
Yeah.
I definitely feel like you are who you're surrounded with. I mean, would you?
Yeah, no, 100% agree. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if you constantly hanging around with people that are on low vibrations, well, you're gonna be the sixth one.
Yeah.
You know, that's just reality
That's
of
just how
it.
it
You
is,
know.
yeah.
You know, but that's really like my thing is how can I kind of like how you were saying, how can I make a difference? How can I make an impact? Because, excuse me, I'm only here for so long, and tomorrow's not promised. It's not promised to anybody. So if I can leave something behind, my digital real estate is there. You can look back and look how I really was, and like, I'm trying to like, this is why I made this podcast. I created this podcast was to give people like yourself a voice and to give myself a voice, because one of the things that really like irritates me is like, people see you on the gram or whatever and they attach this story to you based off what someone else told them. And that's not the facts. So I feel like you can't fake conversations. You can't fake being
genuine and having that conversation.
Yeah. So that's why the Built for More podcast was born, and I want to continue this and share stories and unpack stuff, kind of like how you were saying. You know.
Okay. So the next question I have is, you know, you have 2 daughters. You know, how does getting paid day to day, how does that impact your life? Because you've had other jobs where you were getting paid, you know, bi-weekly, et cetera, et cetera. So I guess, how is the shift from going to knowing like, I'm going to get this paycheck, to being a barber getting paid day to day? You know, client may no-show you, and that drastically, you know, just mess up everything. Yeah. So can you speak about that?
So like so when I started cutting hair, I didn't have any kids. I knew I wanted kids, so I was able to build towards that. Like, now I have more financial freedom than I did before, so I'm able to be a little more flexible with how I get money and stuff like that. Because if I were to have kids in the beginning, that'd be a hard shift. But I feel like since I was able to work towards it, it wasn't as hard. But there is still moments where like I'll contemplate like, okay, today I have to close my day down because I have to go to my daughter's game or something, or my family's having a get together out of town, and I can't miss this. So I think now my thing is more so. I think my thing now is more so having more time with my family, in a sense of like trying to find the balance with clients and my family. Like, that shift, that risk was always there, but I never let it get to me because I knew this was going to work. You know, and but how you said earlier, that fear is always there. You know, that fear is still constantly there. Trust me, it's still there. Like, it's still there. Trust me, it's still there. Like believe it or not, like I really had to tell myself, like, look, I have to have safety nets. I have to have safety nets in place in case this happens, because I have to cancel a full day because I have to go to my daughter's appointment or something. Like, that's the only thing I can think of now, because I was able to build before I had my family. You you know. And I'm blessed to say that, honestly,
Yeah.
because I feel like a lot of people start their family first and then they build, and that's what makes it a lot harder.
Yeah.
You know, so now that I'm high ticket, I don't have to work so hard, but I still, I don't know. It's a weird like tangent. It's so weird,
Yeah.
you know. So I definitely feel like I'm definitely blessed on where I'm at now, because I'm able to make certain calls and still make good money while being here at work. Like I have, so now that I have the coaching business, then I have the barbershop now, I have multiple streams of income that allow me to, you know, like give myself that safety net, how I would say, that leeway, that leverage, you know. So any barber out there listening, if you have a family, like, you're not alone, dude. Like, it's fucking hard.
Yeah.
It's hard finding the rhythm and the balance between the two. But once you have it, don't let it go.
Yeah.
don't let it go. Adapt it here and there, right? But, you know, I will say though, it does test your patience, because like, as much as you want to make money, you want to be with them.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do you feel like if you were to get paid monthly from subscribers, that would help ease?
Oh, 100%, bro. 100%. Like if every single of my clients were on a subscription based, I wouldn't have to worry about them booking every week.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you can come this time every week for this. That's honestly heaven.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah, bro. That's why I'm so like eager to know more about StylePass and when is it coming out, because I would love to be part of the beta if I ever.
Oh, for
you
sure,
know what I
yeah.
mean? I would love to try it out, because that would definitely be a key thing for stress. And speaking of that, like, are you gonna have like, because I know, because Squire does have the feature where you can have the whole shop onto the Squire app. Are you gonna have like a feature where you're gonna have multiple barbers on one account, or would every barber be?
So not in the beginning, but like my market that I'm specifically target are barbers and suites. Suite barbers and independent barbers paying booth rent specifically. But more so barbers and suites, because when you don't have walk-ins, you need that security.
Yeah.
You need that security.
Dude, and you're literally speaking to the future, because I firmly believe that barbershops are going to be modernized to where you're going to see more suites, bro.
Yep.
I mean, we're seeing it now.
Yeah, we're seeing it now.
Like, dude, like, my vision for my place is like beyond what I'm like trying to do here. Like, I already have 2 suites. Like, I want a shop where I can have multiple suites.
Yeah. Because now each barber has their own launch pad. They each barber can have their own tech setup however they want. They can have their own vibe. I mean, this can be all.
It's kind of like a little mini shop.
Exactly.
You know. Like, I firmly believe you're in the future you're going to see these big barbershops. I'm talking like Target status.
Yeah.
Where you're going to see multiple suites in like multiple sizes too, like where you can fit 1 to 2, 3, you know, and then you're gonna see the floor where you're gonna walk in to see the traditional barbers. Yeah. But in the back you're gonna have all those suites.
Yeah, I think Jay Majors has something like that, right? That he built in.
I've never seen. I heard about it, but I've never seen it. I
didn't look too much into it, but I'm pretty sure like there's a number of suites, and then I think there's like a barbershop on the basement floor or something like that. So it's like a combo of like the barbershop.
It's like a complex.
Exactly.
That's so cool.
Exactly.
That's so cool.
So yeah, and when you get to that level, you know, there are barbers that we see move into suites and then they have to go back. It's much easier, or I foresee it being much easier for a barber saying, I have 100 clients that pay me $100 a month guaranteed. Anything else is extra. I move that to the suite. They're locked in.
They're locked in. So you're getting $10K a month off the rip.
And that's only 100 clients. And that's only $100 a month.
Yeah,
right?
and you can grow that, and you can scale that. You can charge 150, 200, like whatever you want to scale it to. Yeah. And that's subscription based. Yeah. Because you have 100 clients paying the high ticket, and you can, dude. That's every month you're getting the. Well, is that how it's gonna work? Every 30 days when that client decided to.
Yeah, it'll auto pay.
That's so cool. Yeah. That's so cool. That's so cool, bro.
It'll go ahead.
It will literally take the stress off. Taxes too, like you can actually calculate how much you're making, because a lot of barbers don't know what the fuck taxes are. And that's another thing that we can go on a tangent on, but I don't want to take up too much of your time.
I mean, another thing is if you have two friends, one barber that gets paid daily and another another person that gets paid monthly, who are you going to be more likely to lend money to? The person has been getting $10K a month for the past 5 years? Or the guy that's like 9,000 one month, 6,000 one month?
Yeah, no, that's because like I'll have months where I'll make like 15K, and then I'll make for a little bit under, or like it's always like a little bit less, like here and there. But it's always it would be so nice to have that 15K in my bank account every single
month. And now your budgeting is better, your planning is better. Not only that, now we're talking leverage, which is a big thing, right? So
huge thing
for a shop. Say you open up a shop and it takes you $50,000 to open up that shop, right? So the beautiful thing, like you're saying about subscriptions, is it'll scale, and it's a long-term play. So if customers are paying you $100 a month, 100 customers paying you $100 a month, that's $10K a month. Eventually they're going to say, can I just pay you for the year? Because people are always going to want more. So now if you have, now instead of charging $100 for the month, which will be $1,200 for the year, just give me $1,000 at the beginning of the month.
You give incentives, like if you want to give for the year, here's just give me $1,000. You can literally come every month or every week, whatever you want for the 12.
So now you have $100K on January 1st. Now that shop you wanted to buy, that shop you wanted to start, instead of needing to save every month and wait till September or November to be able to have enough to buy the shop, now you can take that $100K, use half, buy the shop, get the shop going. So now come November, you fully staffed, you got your floors, you got your lights.
You have everything, and that literally takes the pressure off of literally what we just all talked about. Yep. It's a lot of pressure off taxes, a lot of pressure off, now you can budget better. It's so, it's genius, bro. That's fucking awesome. But what's it called, for everyone listening, if Ray can build this while working a full demanding job, and you said you're on call half the time, right?
Yeah, I'm on call.
Here's my challenge for you. What excuse are you going to let you not start today? What excuse are you going to let go of starting today? Ask yourself that question. Write it down, post about it, tag us. Let us know if you're fully committed, because we would love to know. That's a huge thing. Commitment is part of the reason why you're not where you want to be.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But Ray, honestly, I would love to keep going, but I don't want to take up a lot more of your time. I really do appreciate you coming by today, and I definitely would love to have you for a part 2 to kind of see where StylePass is at in the next 6 to a year. Or shit, if you're in the area, we can make something happen. But where can people follow you, and where can they learn more about StylePass or connect with you? Let them know.
Yeah, so we're closing it out. I want to start by saying, if you're a barber that started off buying wall clippers from Walmart, charging $7 a cut, learning on your brother, we're building StylePass for you. We are building this for you. We want your clients to be loyal to you, and we want you to grow. We're definitely putting barbers first, and I'm focusing on barbers. So you can follow me at RichestRay on all platforms, and you can follow StylePass at StylePass app on all platforms, and StylePassApp.com. So thank you so much.
Go, bro. That's fucking awesome. So you guys hear it. You guys can follow him and ask him any questions. Barbers come first when it comes to StylePass. Do not forget where you guys heard it first. I am your host, Barber Paco, and subscribe. Make sure you guys comment. If you guys took anything from this, please comment down below. I would love to know. I'm sure Ray would love to know too. Yeah, sure. And I'll see you guys on the next one.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, bro. That was awesome. That was dope, bro. How do you